Hey guys, Alex here with Heckman Productions, and as the title suggests, I went racing. I originally was going to take this entire season off from racing, but we decided to go ahead and race the finale at Morelands this year. Decided to put away the cameras, not use them, and just go out there and race and have a fun time. And I wanted to do a full-on vlog and recap the day, but I decided not to. Specifically just so I could focus on my riding. And it's been a little while now since the race. I've been slacking on getting this video out and finished, and I apologize for that. But I still wanted to go through, recap the day, because it was going really well and it had the potential to be amazing, and it still was a really fun day and a fun experience, and I'm glad that I did it. But firstly, thanks to Natalie for letting me do this. It was an idea that I had, and she went along with it, and she had a good time as well. So I appreciate her allowing me to go racing. Yeah, before we start talking about the riding, a couple shout outs. Went Racing did my suspension for me, so it was all set up for this race. He really did a killer job, and it was my first time riding on it, so I did open practice to get used to it, and it didn't take me long to get comfortable on it at all. And then also shout out to Fame MX Design for getting me my graphics. I got a new graphics kit for the race. He got it to me super fast. I got a new Guts Racing seat cover on there, all new Cherbis plastics. So really the bike was super dialed, put on some fresh tires, and it was looking amazing, and I was super grateful and just felt honored to be able to go race such an awesome looking bike. And of course, Rosenau Power Sports providing me with the steed itself. So big thanks to those guys. And also shout out to Only Throttles for these sick gloves on the day. And I also had brand new gear from Fly Racing that I was representing as well. So a whole bunch of new going into this day. Had it all set up. I really planned it out and was really looking forward to it. It's just a race at Morelands. Like, it's not pro national or whatever, but I put a lot of thought into it, a lot of effort into the day, and it turned out pretty well. So talking about the riding, we did open practice. Like I said, I was going to ride 3 sessions of that just to shake down the bike, get used to it. I wanted to hit my jump at least a few times. First session, it was pretty wet, so just decided to play it safe, didn't do anything crazy, threw some whips, and I had talked Natalie into going out there and taking some pictures of the new getup, so she did that for me, and then she put away the camera for the rest of the day. But my second session, I was taking it a little more serious. I wanted to hit the jump, wanted to like push on the suspension and really feel it, how it was working. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some footage from the second session, and then I'll catch up with you guys after the open practice session is done and we move into the race program. So I'll talk to you guys in just a minute.
Yeah?
I ain't fucking doing that.
Dude, I missed my shift the first time and I hit it in second.
Right in front of me?
Yeah. I thought, and then I got my shift good the second time. And then there's too many people, you know.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that's fucking sick, though.
you saw, we had a pretty successful open practice session, put down some good laps, felt a really good flow, rode with Mitchell Franz a lot, who I knew I was most likely going to be battling with in the races. Super nice guy, and I actually asked him to come out. I thought it would be fun to race against some fast people. They put a little extra purse up for elite, so it actually worked out pretty well, and it was really fun to ride with Mitchell all night. But going into race practice, had 4 laps, dialing the track. I wanted to hit the jump, and I actually ended up like over jumping it my first time going for it. I didn't think that was possible, but I'll go ahead and share the race practice with you guys. It was actually like I hadn't rode a brand new Morelands in so long, I forgot what it was like. So went out there, spun some fun laps, just feeling out the track. So I'll catch up with you after that.
Possible.
So I only did those 4 laps, even though I was doing 2 different classes. I could have ran the clean bike or second class practice, but before I was going to go out to do that, I found out that I was actually Moto #1. Elite AB was Moto 1, so I didn't want to go out and go 2 laps and then immediately go and line up. I just decided to go straight to the gate. I know the track well enough. I don't need to go 2 more laps. So that's what I decided to do, and my goodness, were the nerves high. And before we get into recapping the races and talking about the races, I want to give two big thanks. First of all, big thanks to Evan Baker. He came out, drove a long ways, and hooked us up with some awesome footage. So big thanks to Evan, and also big thanks to Only Throttles. He always provides, whenever he's at the track and I'm riding, he always gives me some awesome raw footage from the day. Big thanks to him. He helps provide me with a lot of content. So I really appreciate Brandon and what he does for us riders. It's not just me, he does it for a lot of people. So big thanks to Brandon. But with that being said, let's jump right into the first moto. With it being first race, a lot of just sitting on the line waiting. I did the anthem, and it's just the nerves are building. Like, I was so nervous. I hadn't been behind a gate all day, or all year, I meant. And it was just insanely nervous. I wasn't able to get my whole shot device figured out. It wasn't like fitting over the leg of my fork properly, so I didn't have a whole shot device. I had a brand new scoop tire and a 450 I'd never done a start with before. So I was like so nervous. First moto start, kind of got pushed off the track. Like, I might have been able to make the finish line, but it would have been sketchy and I might have hit somebody. So I just decided to fade off the track. No harm done. I went slow and then hit the berm afterwards, and I ended up coming out fourth, which I was stoked with. And in the moment I was like, wow, fourth out of 13, like, that's not bad for not doing any practice starts. And then I looked in front of me, and it's the three other fastest guys that it would be probably the most difficult to get by. There was Logan Birch, Keaton Bell, Mitchell France. France was actually right in front of me, and looking back, if I would have changed my lines a little bit and tried to get around France earlier, the race may have went different for me. But with it being my first race, my first couple of laps were a little sluggish, where I was just kind of sitting there. And what kind of woke me up was when I saw Mitchell. I was able to get by Logan Birch first lap, and when I saw Mitchell get by Keaton, or Keaton Bell, it kind of woke me up. Like, all right, I need to kind of start going. I hit the huck and then started and got close to Keaton. Took me a few laps to get by Keaton. He's a really good rider and really good at using the fast line, so it forces you to go out of your comfort zone a little bit to make a pass. But I really enjoy racing Keaton. He's always super clean and just fun to race against. So I eventually got past Keaton, but by that point, Mitchell had too much of a gap. I think I caught him like half a second, a few laps in a row, mostly from just doing the huck. But I was able to catch him just a little bit, and he was on a 250. So, like, if he was on a 450, probably wouldn't have been able to hang with him, but who knows? I don't really know, but it was still just awesome to be the same speed as him, because I've never been the same speed as him at any other track. But yeah, I slowly caught him a little bit, but just I was super satisfied with that moto. Worked out most of my nerves and just like was able to execute what I wanted to do. Obviously, I would have loved to win, but it wasn't the end of the world for not winning. So after that moto, kind of had quite a bit of a break. I was also doing 25 plus, and that one I was not stressed out about at all. Like, the only thing that I was worried about was, again, the start. We were lining up with Open BC, which is a pretty gnarly class, and it was a pretty big gate, and they didn't do split gate drops. They just dropped us all. So I ended up, I don't know, I was near the back of the pack off the start. Like, it was not a good start at all. And I actually, like, got a little sideways and got up against Eric Scheid's bike, and it, like, shifted my bike up into fourth gear somehow. So I was going around that second corner, and my bike's just bleh, and I'm like, what is going on? So I had to downshift a couple times, and by the end of the first lap, I was in the second. Well, it was actually first place in 25 plus. But the guy in front of me was, there was still somebody in front of me from Open BC, and I was kind of all over him, kind of was just getting sick of being blocked, so I decided to jump my jump over him. He kind of like jumped over to the right as I was already committed for the jump, and I was super like, alright, well, I really hope he goes to the left or we're gonna have issues. And come to find out later, he actually came up to me afterwards and was like, I'm not trying to cross jump you. And I was like, dude, it's totally fine. Like, everybody was okay. He said, I didn't even know like you were out there with me. I didn't pay attention to the other class, and it was all cool, obviously, because nobody got hurt. Everything was fine. So Ended up having fun with that. I was just flowing and just having fun riding, and then I looked over at the finish line and flagger. I was like, oh, that was checkered flag. The race is over already. I was kind of bummed because I was having fun. But yeah, that was a super nice moto. Just having fun, just having fun riding my dirt bike. That's what I missed most about racing. So that moto was awesome. Really, really good for me. And that brings us to Elite AB Moto 2. Before I go into that, I also wanted to give a big thanks and shout out to Truefit Motorsports. They're not a sponsor of me or anything, but they're always at Morelands providing help, doing a bunch of tire changes. They have a product on hand for people, and he helped me. I put my new front tire on my bike facing the wrong direction the night before, and I don't know if it made that big of a difference, but I did bring it to him before race practice, and he swapped it around for me and took care of me. So I really appreciate him and his wife for always being there and always helping out us idiot motocross racers when we need it. So really big thanks to him. And so let's go ahead and talk about my Elite AB Moto 2. For those of you who haven't seen it, I did crash in this race. I was going into the corner. I don't even know. I think I was about last going into that corner. I just know Morelands so well that I know the lines to still end up in the front by the end of the half of a lap. So I ducked in behind someone, hit the outside berm, hit the finish line triple, landed kind of right behind Mitchell, hopped in behind him, and it was just the two of us. I went from last to second just from hitting that line and linking it together. And then I was on Mitchell. I was so excited. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted. I want to try to race with Mitchell because he's always so fast. It'd be awesome to race with him. And I did that. I was riding really well and I felt really good. And I hit my jump and passed by him, and it was just wow, I just did that, And watching a video back, Hunter Williams, shout out to him for providing some video from this race. But Mitchell actually looked up at me when I was in the air. It was pretty funny watching it back afterwards. But yeah, so I hit that jump and I got a little bit of a gap on him, and I was like, all right, my plan is I'm going to hit my jump one more time. It was getting rough before it, so it was quite a stretch to jump it. It was getting really challenging. So I was like, all right, I'm going to jump it one more time, and by then I'll have a little bit of a gap. I don't have to jump it anymore. Still hit my corners good and everything, and I should be good, right, was my thinking. Well, after I jumped it again, I must have relaxed or had a mental lapse or something, because I went down. Just tucked the front end in the soft stuff. The crash did not hurt at all. I immediately, the issue was my throttle was stuck wide open in the dirt, and the bike was on its side. And for those of you who don't know, the Yamaha airbox has a breather hose that goes to the head, and when my bike was stuck wide open, on its side upside down, oil actually got up in my head and into my airbox, and it smoked out my bike, and it actually hydro-locked my bike where I couldn't get it going again. It just wouldn't start. I hit the button and it immediately, it tries to start and then immediately stops. So that's what was happening to me on the side of the track. I was actually looking back, I'm surprised at how calm I was, because I had just thrown away a win. I had just thrown away $200. I had just choked, right? But in the moment, I was able to control my emotions and just deal with the task at hand, which was pushing my bike off the track. And before I realized the bike wasn't gonna go again, I got up super quick. I probably would have got back up either second or third, and I was already thinking to myself, let's go, let's try to get back up there, let's do what I can. I was ready mentally. I was ready to start attacking again, and then I realized my bike's not starting, and oh, I guess I can't keep going. It was such a bummer deal, and it ruined my vibe for the rest of the night. I was in such a poor mood after that, and it took me hours like basically till I got home for me to be over it, because I had never been in that situation of passing one of the fastest guys in the state and then choking, right? Like, it was so much disappointment. And but obviously with the bike not running, I was talking to some people and I figured out like what I needed to do to fix it. I could have done it at the track to do my second 25 plus moto, but 2 races after the second elite race, it started raining pretty hard, and by the time 25 plus moto 2 came around, it had stopped raining, but I had no interest in going out on that slippery track. Like, it was, I pretty much decided as soon as I pushed my bike off that I'm good. I'm not going out for my second 25 plus moto. I need to figure out the bike. It's not worth like potentially blowing it up from the oil being contaminated with my air filter oil or what have you. So before I even rode the bike again, I just did a full oil change on it. Didn't want to take any chances. To get the bike unlocked up from its state, I actually had to pull the spark plug out, and then the bike would turn over, right? It was turning over, it was spitting some oil out, so I had to let it do that for about 20 seconds, just like letting the bike turn over, and my spark plug was fouled out. It was black, so I cleaned that up the best I could, and then the bike ran. And even then it still smoked a little bit, and when I went riding the next time, my first session out, it smelled like burnt oil around the track. But once all that oil was burnt out from the system, and the bike runs great, and I haven't had any issues with it. So yeah, it was a very, very eventful race day that I decided to do. And with that being said, I'm not planning on racing at all for the rest of 2024. I'm still trying to decide exactly what I want to do for 2025, but I wasn't planning on racing in 2025 either. But I know things can change, so who knows what 2025 will bring as far as me and racing. But yeah, I'm sure this was a hefty video. Again, I really appreciate everyone who supported me at this weekend, from Natalie to all my friends that showed up, to Grant for listening to me. Like, I was inviting all these fast people to come race because I wanted people to race with, and Grant helped out a ton by doubling the prize or the payout for Elite A/B. So big thanks to Grant and the whole Morelands crew. They run a awesome program, and that's why I chose his place to race. Is one, I love the track, I'm good at it, and they always run such a good program. So thanks to them. Big thanks to all the sponsors that joined me for this year. Salem Construction Co., J&L Property Management, Down Home Trees, Only Throttles, TK Motorworks, M100 Creative Co., and now Went Racing as well. The suspension was awesome and allowed me to push myself. Like, I turned my best lap time ever, and I attribute a lot of that to Mike Bogner for helping me get comfortable. One Touch Painting, FamMX Design. Also big thanks to like Fly Racing Expert and Goggles, Gut Seat Cover, Atlas Brace, Works Connection, Cherbis Plastics. All these little parts and pieces all go together to make a full program, and I'm super appreciative. Like, I am very blessed to have what I have, and to be able to do what I do. So I'm very grateful for that. So I want to give a big thanks to all you guys as well, especially if you watch the whole program, or the whole video, not program. The YouTube channel has been doing really well this summer, and I'm really grateful to you guys for the continued support. And I'm glad that I can put up content that you enjoy watching. Like, that's the whole point of what I do. Is I enjoy making videos, but I also want just other people to enjoy watching them as well. So I'm gonna keep putting in the work, keep putting in effort into videos, and I appreciate when you guys put in the effort and watch them for me. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. It took a while for me to get it done, but I wanted to make it a really well done, thought out video. So that'll do it, guys. I really appreciate it again. We will see you all in the next video.